So let's talk about virtualization, next one. Hot, 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 right? This is a topic that I'm most active on at the moment. We've got VMworld coming up in Copenhagen in a couple of months' time. There's going to be some interesting announcements from Symantec at that. But I'm hard-pressed to have a strategic IT conversation with anybody that doesn't want to talk about virtualization. Here's our point of view on it. Back to seesaws again, really. The promise of virtualization is this, and actually I've seen very well executed projects with Microsoft, VMware and some of the Linux vendors that actually pretty much deliver on this, right? We can save a huge amount of money by consolidating infrastructure, and we can create this agility in infrastructure now because we don't so much care about the physicality of it. We can dynamically move things around. You know, the guy at the bank that I mentioned earlier was saying to me, you know, although I'm concerned about my 5,500 virtual servers that are not under my control anymore, it is incredible to me that it used to take me at least 10 days to provision a new server, and now it takes 10 minutes. I mean, that's business value, right? That's agility. So there's a lot of good stuff that can be had in the virtualization world. Unfortunately, reality though, is that you are, if you're not very careful and disciplined about your approach, by definition going to introduce risk into your environment. And some of the risks that our customers are telling us about, you can see on the chart here. What's interesting as a market dynamic is in talking to VMware, it's become apparent to us that they're feeling this as well. So when you talk to an executive at VMware who's being honest with you, they'll say, look, the last 10 years has been fantastic. We've had a great time. You know, it's been very successful for us. We've generated revenues beyond expectations, but we're about to hit a wall. They themselves talk about the fact they've focused for the last 10 years on the first third of systems. And they've typically been less critical systems, file and print and things of that nature. In order for VMware, Microsoft and others to push into mission critical systems, business important systems, there are some problems they've got to solve. And not all those problems are in the span of control of their organisations. Give you a quick example in the availability piece. I don't want to get into sort of too technical speak here, but it is a reality that VMware cannot see applications. It just can't. It protects itself very, very well. They've got some really good disaster recovery solutions now, great clustering technology, but what those technologies are focused on is protecting the VMware infrastructure, so if anything goes wrong there, you're protected. What they can't do is they can't see the apps. If you put an Oracle database inside VMware, VMware doesn't know it's there, let alone whether it's faulted or it's gone down or something bad's happened. It just doesn't know. So we've brokered an engineering relationship with VMware. We're going to do it with Microsoft. We're going to do it with the Linux guys as well. And we've embedded our Veritas cluster server product inside VMware. It's not a layered product. We're not adding complexity to the environment. We've coded it inside the VMware engine. So now you get the benefit of 15 years of clustering experience and disaster recovery experience inside a virtual machine. There's an example of a specific problem that's going to stop people virtualizing mission critical systems that Symantec can bring some value to. Are we going to create a hypervisor and compete with VMware? No. In the same way that we never wanted to compete with Solaris, HPUX or AIX, right? We're not an operating system vendor, and we're not